Welcome back to my garden. Today I just wanted to talk about a certain kind of plant that I really like that's growing in the garden that's been really reliable for me in my plantings, especially since this year I've been redesigning the layout of my garden and adding new sections. One plant I really like a lot that I keep coming back to year after year are the sedums. So this time of year too is a great time to talk about sedums because they're looking really good in the garden. That fall color is really coming through, especially with the flowers of the plants. And I just think that overall they're really reliable plants. This year, I just have to say honestly, it's been really challenging in the garden. I've been here in Minnesota in this particular spot for about, I guess this would be my 6th year. But ever since we moved here, it's been a lot of rain versus drought. This year has been one of the really rainy years, so we've had a lot of heat, humidity, just really constant rain since the spring, which actually made it really difficult for me to do this video, which I was going to do yesterday, but I just kept getting rained out, so it wasn't working, so I'm giving it a try again today. Yeah, it's just been challenging. We've had wildfire smoke on top of that, so it's been hard to be outside with that going on too. As you gardeners know, it's like there's always challenges out there, and then having this issue with climate change, which many of us are experiencing now in different parts of the country, is really kind of presenting new challenges for us. So if you've never planted sedums before, they're a succulent. They're perennial. There's actually, the family of sedums is all over the planet. The particular kind of sedums that I focus on that a lot of you may grow in your garden too are classified as Hylotelephium. Today I thought I would take you around and show you a few of the sedums that I have in my garden. I've had different kinds in the past, and the ones I currently have now I really like. I think there's been a lot of improvements made with sedums in the last few years, especially with the dark-leaved sedums, which I really love because they're actually really easy to grow and easy to propagate, which I'm going to show you what I do, which is what I call the lazy gardener method. They're just like super easy to make more of, and you don't need like basically any equipment at all to do that. I'm just going to take you around and I'm going to show you the kinds I have, and we can talk more on the other end. So here's my pond this morning. Just coming around, I've got a border along the north side of a fence, which the plantings actually face south. And so they do really well. Plants that do really well here tend to be ones that like a lot of sun. This one is called Matrona. It is actually one of my favorite sedums in the garden. I have propagated this one over and over again. I've divided it many times, and it's just performed really well in my garden. As you can see, it's got these really nice kind of olivey green leaves with a little bit of a bluish tinge at times. It's got these kind of nice plum purple stems with the flowers that come out in late summer, with the buds being kind of a chartreuse green with a pink edge on them, and then they open up to these pink flowers with the deeper pink centers. It's pretty healthy despite all of the rain we've had, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year, which I really like, but it's not humongous, so it doesn't overwhelm my garden, and it really makes a nice supporting plant for other plants in this bed. So we've got a lot of sedums like Matrona with the pink flowers, but this one I thought was unique. It's called Peach Pearls, and it's got this more bronzy green foliage with the yellowy flowers with the kind of, I don't know if you call that like an orangey, peachy tinge to it. And this one I've divided up, so the plants are kind of little right now at this point, but they will fill out next year and get bigger because I'd like to create a big mass of them in this area. And I planted them to kind of complement my summer wine, Physocarpus, over here. So I'm kind of going for that bronzy green, warm effect in this area. Into my center bed of my garden. And I have got another sedum called Carl. It's got these more cooler green leaves with a little bit of a pinkish warm tinge on the edges, a little bit of a serrated edge on the shape of the leaves. And then it does have these really bright, hot pink kind of flowers, big flowers. It bloomed for me last year, was really, really pretty, really striking. I've got some dark towers penstemon, which have those dark leaves with a purpley metallic green tinge. The penstemon is done blooming for now this year, but I think next year this combo should look pretty good, so I'm looking forward to that. Another variety I have, which I love, love, love. This one is called Night Embers. So this one is new to my garden. I think it's a major improvement over Blackjack or Purple Emperor, which are two older varieties of sedums with the darker leaves. So this one has more rounded leaves, which I think is really cute. And they really hold their color well. They don't get that kind of scarring that you'll see from like sun scorch. Some of the older varieties would get, and I've had no trouble with other diseases on this one. It seems just super healthy. The flowers that are starting to open up have these kind of mauve pink buds that open to a brighter pink. And the flowers are interesting too because they're almost like little baby cauliflower flowers, which is a little different than Matrona over here, as you can see, that have the more like bigger, flatter flower heads. Really like this one. I would definitely give that one a try. So this one is pretty much a classic. You may know this one. This one's Autumn Joy. So this is like one of the most common sedums that you'll see in a lot of catalogs, but you know what? I think it's a favorite because it's just a really reliable sedum. So this is another upright. Now the flowers that are just coming out for me start out as that green color turning to pink. And then eventually as the season progresses, they'll actually get darker and become that more russety red color. So that's very dramatic and really pretty in the fall. This one is Blackjack. So here is the original plant that I bought, and then I still have a few of them, but can you see why I don't really like them as much? So originally they started out with the darker purple leaves, but I know because of all the rain and everything we've had, the leaves have just really, I don't know, taken a toll. They look awful, right? The color is just kind of like washed away, scorched away. They look like they're scarred. There's like a microclimate right here, which I think more of the humidity gets trapped, more of the moisture. It is a little bit of a lower spot. I think that's why I'm having some issues. One of the issues, which I've never had before, is mildew, which I'm really surprised. I have never had mildew on sedums before. But you can see the difference in sighting here. So this is Matrona, just like the one I had in the other bed. And that one doesn't have any mildew, and I think a lot of it has to do with where I placed it. This one is called Dragon's Blood, and I've taken little pieces of this and put in different areas where I've wanted something low to support other taller growing plants or along edges of beds. Because right now it's not really blooming as much. It has a couple there, but it has lots of big bunches of flowers earlier in the season, and it's very pretty. This one has the darker foliage again with the bright magenta flowers. This one really puts on a show, you know, later in the summer into early fall. So it's really great as a little accent edger. So here's some peach pearls sedums that I just put in the ground like a few days ago. And the reason I did this is because a rabbit ran through my garden and broke off a bunch of pieces, and I found them on the ground the next day. But no worries, because guess what? Sedums are super adaptable. Even if a piece has been sitting out for a while, you can still plant it and it will grow. So here's Here's one of my peach pearls originals, and whoops, it looks like there is a broken piece already right here. Perfect. So if I just take that off, yeah. So here you go. This has even got the flowers on it and whatever. I find that actually doesn't really make a difference. You don't have to take the flowers off or trim it like you would maybe a traditional cutting. I just take the whole thing. And here's one I did already. I've got some soil here that I've been working up from digging up other plants. And here, I'm not even going to use a shovel. How about that? Just take a piece of mulch. Just kind of create a new hole here. And I'm just going to stick it in the ground, push it in, push the soil back, and voila, there you go. I just planted a new sedum plant. You can also in the spring dig them up, divide them, and plant new groupings. But just to let you know, over here, this grouping of Matrona that I did, I think I did this last year even, and I just did that same method with basically one stick per plant, and now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants I think in there. When I put another one over there this year, 7. So, you know, I mean, you can see how fast it fills up and really creates a statement or impact in the garden. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.